Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy MC F.I.R.E.
And Ice Cube.
We are back, guys.
Yay.
We're so geeked to be back with you guys. Listen, we don't even remember like the last video that we did.
I think we were talking about relationships, honestly.
We were actually talking about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Should be on it. What's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs was we had to take a hiatus from YouTube because we were building something big, and as we're getting to the stages where we're getting close to the end of building it and things are kind of going on autopilot, we are like a little bit more mentally time free, energy free to be able to lock back in with you guys on our vlog. So yeah, I hope you guys are happy for us because we put in a lot of energy, and a lot of it has to be attributed to how we set ourselves up, and that's what our video is talking about today. We are talking about like putting yourself in like the best financial position to potentially win, right? So man, the car here goes turn it completely off, right?
Yeah.
So it's not loud, right? Oh my gosh. So we want to just like tell people what is the best financial position, like barring you starting with a lot of money and you inheriting wealth or being a trust fund baby. Like, what's the best place to start, right?
Not a trust fund baby.
Not a trust fund baby, right? So we're gonna talk about D.I.N.K.N.L. Q, tell them what D.I.N.K.N.L is. It's a name we came up with. You remember?
No kids.
Close. What's the D stand for? Dual
income. No kids.
No kids.
No liabilities.
No liabilities. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got it. Yeah. So you just need a little help, right? Dual income, no kids. Everyone's heard of DINK, dual income, no kids. But really, dual income, no kids, no liabilities. And that is if you haven't inherited like a trust fund, hands down, that is the best spot to be in financially. Why is that? Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of crazy, but when you really think about it, it's like I don't owe anyone else anything. I don't really owe like the bank, credit card companies, loan companies. I'm not beholden to kids for my time, right? But I have a partner in me, and we both have a job, right? We both work, and we essentially, right, can make money, right? That's what it means to be dual income, no kids. When you read the book, I think it's The Richest Man in Babylon, what he'll say is, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that you can live off of 9/10 of your income if you're saving that final tenth, right? If you're investing it or saving it. What Robert Kiyosaki says is when two people get together, the best time financially is right then, because really two people can almost live on one person's income. And for a long time in this country, that was the case. Like a family could essentially be good to go with just one income. And nowadays, that can kind of be true, but the economy's gotten a little, what would you say? How do you think about the economy, Q? Like,
I mean, even one person is kind of struggling to live, so I don't think that if people did it, like, because people aren't wanting to get into relationships, so of course it's going to be harder for people to live because it's a single person's income, like, that you're living off of. Whereas if it was a married couple, like you were saying, you can survive off one income. However, you can't live above your means. So you have to make sure that what you're spending, it, like, you have to make sure that your was it fixed income or fixed bills, like fixed expenses,
Yeah.
is lower than what you're bringing in, because if you can't, you're literally spending 98% of what you make, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna try to go invest these $2.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you'll
what do
be
you
financially free when you're 538.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what do you expect to get out of that? You have to, that's why when people say pay yourself first, paying yourself, and it's easier to do with another person, because with that extra income that you guys have at the end of whenever you pay your bills, like you can invest that, or even just paying that first, investing it first, and then paying your bills with what you have left. Because people would see you'll get paid, then sorry,
No, you got it.
so you'll get paid, and then you would allocate your money for bills already. Yeah. So you're already like scraping the barrel, and then you see that low number, like, man, I just got paid this $2,000. I'm already at like $600.
Woo, woo.
And then you have to go get food and everything else, and you're like, well, I'll do it next check, or
right.
I'll do it when I get my income tax. Now, yeah. So, or you just don't do it at all because you're like, I don't got the money for it. I'd rather take this money to go, have fun or do something.
YOLO, right? Don't YOLO. And I hope you guys understood like Q is saying. Like, if you're fixed costs, right? What are those? Like your car, your house, things that you have a set. We have to pay these to maintain our standard of living. If that is in the 90s and is taking up 90% of your income, you gotta be realistic. You gotta be realistic about your timetable, and are we really just wishing, or are we actively doing what it's gonna take to be financially free? Are we actually gonna get there, like, in a reasonable time? And that might be a hard conversation, but I don't think it has to be hard. So tips for most people is, a lot of times, just first get the numbers. Get the numbers down on a piece of paper. Find out how much you owe every month, how much you make every month, and what the current status is. What's the total value of your house? What's the total value of your car? Blue book style, right? How much do you owe on your credit cards? What debts you have outstanding, whether it be student loan or otherwise. Really just kind of get a full financial report card. Some people keep track of that stuff monthly, and then some people, they might do it like twice in their life. But I would say you can't know where you're going until you know where you are. And that is going to be the hardest thing for most people, right? If you're going to tap into your financial GPS to find that safe haven of financial security, right? You're not going to be able to do that if the GPS doesn't know where you're at. And that is important for you to know. So that's the first thing I would say probably you need to start with, is tally all that out. Then the next thing is pretty obvious, which is what everyone tries to tell people. You need to take 10% of everything you make, no less than 10%, and that is yours first. Pay yourself first, right? Pay yourself first. We harp all the time about reading the books. This is one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but I was telling him, like, hey, brother, you need to read these 3 books. These are like your financial Bible. I recommended him 3 books, right? And if knowledge is power, then a book is the most sincere gift you can give. And I told him, I was like, listen, these 3 books are going to financially be your cornerstone, like your bedrock. There's a knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of finance. You got to read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. You got to read The Richest Man in Babylon and The Millionaire Fast Lane. Like, I told Q, I was like, I probably won't do direct business with people that haven't read that book, because you won't understand in which the way we move financially. It's not gonna make sense, right? And so I recommended the books to him, and immediately he recommended me a business idea. Like, hey, you know what we can do? We can do this business. And I'm like, you're kind of missing the point. My point of telling you wasn't to get you excited and just have you hurrah, right? Like, oh, I want to start a business now all of a sudden. Actively make it a part of your lifestyle, make it embedded into your DNA. Like, read the books, read them, do them, breathe them, right? So many people, the reason why we're even doing this is so many people in this world are hurting right now, and especially our people, right? In this country of immense wealth, our people are at the bottom. So we feel kind of, I don't know, like a responsibility to like share good news with people, like share partly what works for us, right? What works for us. So D.I.N.K.N.L, right? Dual income, no kids, no liabilities, right? And then focus on good habits, focus on getting assets, whether they be passive or capital appreciation. Right now, one asset might be more accessible than another. So you got to just pick the best time, do your research on the assets, and get them. Get them. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are awesome. This is your boy, MC F.I.R.E.
And Ice Cube.
Thanks. We're back.
Shalom.
Peace.